Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm going to show you how I made this cute card today. Let me see if I can get that under there. So, lots of glitter. I don't know what it is. Just lately I want to glitter everything. Maybe it's from doing Christmas cards. I don't know. But then it says on the inside, Happy Birthday, Gorgeous. And that certainly is a gorgeous little elephant on the front. So this is what we're going to need. You need a little piece that's about 2 by 2 to cut the elephant out. Now I stamped this already with the Berry Burst ink, and then die cut it, and then I'm going to use the new blends. I'm going to use the pink Pirouette light and dark. That's the set, and then I'll fussy cut this little bit off there. So I have my little tiny scissors. Then we need just a tiny little scrap just to cut the little flower out that the elephant has on its head. Then we need oh dear, I'm short a piece. I do believe I'm short a piece of this. Well, that's all right. We just won't do the inside on this one, because one is for the inside, one is for the outside. The one is for the oh, this part here that I use that I have the marbling and the glitter on. Yeah. So you need a piece. It's two pieces, 4.5 by 3.25. One will go on the inside of your card, and one will go on the outside. Then we need another piece that's about, oh wait, that is the piece. That is the piece for the inside. Excuse me. Yes, because this is the piece that goes, I am really mucking this up. Yes, this is the piece that goes on the outside. And let me measure that, because I wrote things down wrong, obviously. And this is okay, this is 4.5 by 3.25. Now what is this one? This one is almost 3.75. 3.75 by 5. Okay, no problem. We're going to put a 4.75 by 5-inch piece on the inside, and a piece that's 4.5 by 3.25. Don't worry, I'll have this down below and it will be right. Then I need another little bit here that's also this 3.75 by 5-inch, or yeah, 3.75 by 4.5. 4.5 by 3.25. Oh boy, I really have everything all messed up here. I wonder if this is the right thing. Yeah, everything else looks right. But we're going to be cutting this little, well, I cut this little die cut out from a piece that size also. And then we have a little piece of pink Pirouette. Let's see, this is 4 by 2.75. And we're going to use that behind this. Then my borders on my card are black and pink Pirouette. And this one is 4.75 by 3.5. And this piece, the black, is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. So that gives us just a tiny little border all the way around. What is that, like a 1/16 of an inch? Yeah. And then, of course, then I have my card base. And this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored and folded at 4.25. Boy, I just had my white messed up, my Whisper white. So I'm using a little wild stamp set. I'm using the elephant, and I used the die for that also. Of course, if you didn't get the die, well, then shame on you, because you can't make these cute little tags then some other time. But you could fussy cut that one little elephant out if you like, but I'm all for saving myself a little bit of time just lately. And then I used the Beautifully You stamp set. The Happy Birthday Gorgeous for the inside came from there. And this background stamp that's fairly new. It came out in the this year, and it's the marbled background. So pretty. And then this die, which I got on Ali. Nope, I got this from Amazon. Okay, I got this from Amazon, Amazon.com, and I'll put a link to that where I got that below. So we'll be using the pink Pirouette. I'll be using a Tuxedo black ink, and of course I already said I'm using the Berry Burst. I used that to stamp the elephant. I'm using this big old Nuvo glue pen. You don't have to use this. You can use any clear drying glue you like to adhere your glitter, but I have it, and my next choice would be to sponge the glue on to my my one panel on the front of the card, but I didn't feel like getting my sponge out, and I didn't feel like running out and cleaning it right away either. So I'm going to use the glue pen because, like I said, I have it, and it's just very convenient to use. I have an assortment of little tiny rhinestones. I'll be using a yellow one on the flower center. I'll cut out a little yellow one. It's got all different colors in it. And my Stampin' Dimensionals. So, the first thing you would want to do is want to do the elephant first, and you want to let your ink dry a little bit. The best ink to use, excuse me, actually with the blending, any of the alcohol blending pens, is the Memento ink. But I use the Stampin' Up Berry Burst, and there is a chance that it could bleed. Okay, well, that didn't bother me because if the Berry Burst bled a little bit into my pink Pirouette, it was not gonna upset me at all. So I'm using the dye inks from Stampin' Up. Now this seems to be a little bit too low. Let me see if I put it on this. Is that a little? It's a little better for you to see, I guess. But I'm going to start out with my light pink Pirouette. And I'm just going to do a section at a time. When you're using the alcohol pens, you want them to be wet as you're blending. It'll help you blend so much more. So I have several sections here. I can do an ear at a time, and then I can do his head. Then I can do the body part, and then there's two little legs in the background here that I'm just going to use the dark on. I'm not getting crazy about this. So I'll start with one of his ears, and I like to start light first. And then I like to do my shading with the darker color, which is just at the very top of his, the inside of his ear there. Okay. And then I'll go back with my light pen, just all on that edge, and that will just blend it in. That will just blend it in beautifully. And as you can see, I did get a little bleeding on the top of his ear, but that's not a problem. So let's do his other ear. And we'll do the same thing on this one. I hope I'm not putting my hand in the way. Put a little bit of the dark there on the inside of his ear. And then go back all along that edge there with the light color, and that will just blend it in. Move on to his face and his trunk. And just color that all in there. And we'll go back with the darker and just around the edges of his face, just to give him a little dimension, and just below his eyes here. So it gives it like a little look that it maybe his eyelashes are casting a shadow there. And we'll just go over all those areas. I'm going to go over the whole. I'm actually going to go over the whole face here, but paying special attention where we put the darker color. Okay, now we can move down to the body. My light, put my light in. Okay. And then we're going to shadow all along his trunk here, up along his face, the bottom edge of his face, because that would all be shadowed. And then just along the edge here, we're going to just put a little bit. And that will just give him a little, and on the other side of his legs here, and that will just give him kind of a rounded look. I would imagine my little elephant would be, if it was a real elephant, it would be kind of rounded. And we'll just go back over everything again, paying just a little bit special attention where we've added the darker color there so it blends in. Okay. And then all we have left now is just his little back feet. And like I said, I am just going to, they're just going to be dark. There we go. Now, where did my little scissors go? There they are. I'm just going to trim off this extra here. And he's all ready to go in the front of our card now. Where'd my camera go? There we go. So, it's a very subtle thing doing the shading on it. You could color them in, just color them in pink. You can cut them out of pink paper. But I just like that little extra bit. Now, if I can find that little tiny scrap of paper I had, let's see. I had just that little bit. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to stamp my flower also, because that has to be cut out. So I'm going to stamp my flower. I don't even have to stamp the whole thing. I just need the top part. And that does have to be fussy cut. What a shame. Oh, well. So. I have a turkey cooking in my oven right now. Not because it's Thanksgiving. That was, let's see, today is Sunday, and that was Thursday. But we had Thanksgiving at my daughter's house. And they did the turkey and the stuffing and mashed potatoes, and then I did all the other sides. And we always invite any friends that are maybe at loose ends for the holiday. You don't have family around. They're not going to visit them for the holidays. And it was such a nice time. But anyway, I just didn't want to deal with leftovers at that time. So I had a turkey breast in my freezer. So I just told them to keep all the leftovers. And so now I'm doing like a repeat of Thanksgiving because now I do want leftovers. And just poor planning on my part. Okay, so the little flower I just colored in with the dark pink Pirouette, and we're going to put that nice little yellow gem in the middle of that. And let me get my piece of paper here that will have the marbling on it. And there it is. And my stamp. And somewhere around here I have a bit of scrap paper. And let's see, where do I want to put this on this stamp? Because there's a lot of variation here. And I think this part that has a lot of things going on, that's where I'm going to do it. So let me get my piece of scrap paper here too. And I'm going to ink up. Now, I'm just laying this down on my table. Did you notice that? You don't need to have a stamp pad for this. And you just lay it on your table. And I'm going to ink that up. Get that inked up real good. I'm using the pink Pirouette ink for that. And take my little bit of card here. Make sure I didn't stamp something on the back. And just line that up on there. And take my piece of paper, trying very carefully not to move my paper that I'm stamping on. You know what? We need an inker too. Or not an inker, but a sponge too, because we're going to ink up the edge of this card. This bit here. Okay, so there we go. Oh, look how pretty that is. That's so nice. That's so nice just by itself. I'm going to glitter it in a bit, but you could just go just with this in the background. So let me get my pink Pirouette. I've got my sponge and get some ink on there. And I just want to do the edges here, because this was right on the outside of the size of the stamp. I could have turned my paper so it went, where'd my stamp get to? I could have turned my paper and did it this way, but to me the design seems to go back and forth this way, so that's why I did it like this. Yeah, I didn't want the design to look like it was going up and down on my card. I want it to be flowing side to side. So there we go. So now it's all that part's all ready. And where'd that scrap paper get to? I'm going to glitter. Like I said, I don't know what's gotten into me, because glitter didn't used to be my thing at all. But just lately I want to glitter everything. So I'm just going to go, I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to go like with the swirls on here. And we don't really have to worry about getting into the center, because that's going to get covered up. And let's see. That looks pretty good. Okay. And glitter. I didn't tell you needed glitter at the beginning either, did I? I talked a little bit about wanting to do glitter all the time now, but I don't think I mentioned that you need it. So there we go. That's all glittered now. And just take all this, dump that back into my container as best I can. Yeah, once you glitter one thing, you might as well glitter everything, because you're going to have glitter from one end of your house to the other. If you're anything like me anyway. because I know I have glitter everywhere. It looks very it looks very festive with all the glitter all over my house. Okay, so I think we're ready to start putting our card together. Well, except for, let's do the stamp on the inside. What do you say? I think when I did this originally, I stamped this on my my mini Misty. But I'm just gonna go old school here and just hope for the best and stamp and up. Oh, and it came out nice. Came out nice. My old fingers don't work so well all the time, and I do tend to rock and roll my stamps, so I'm always thrilled when I get a nice impression. Okay, let's put this card together. Alright, so I've got my card base. The next layer will be a piece of black. And you can glue this, or you can use your tape runner, or you can pop it up with dimensionals, whatever floats your boat. I'm trying out this new glue. I saw a video and somebody was using it and they said they really liked it, so I'm giving it a shot. And it's the Scotch quick drying tacky glue. And you know, this sets up pretty quick. It is quick drying, I will give it that. Okay, then we put our next layer on, which would be this piece of pink. I might start using this more often because it does dry clear. It does dry quick. And it's not sticky. If I get it on my fingers, it doesn't stay sticky. So that'd be great for things you don't want to stay sticky. I still like my Tombow though. Okay, so now we're ready for this bit here. So let's put that on. And again, anytime in here you want to pop a piece up, well, that's fine. It's your card. You do what you want to do on your card. I'm just telling you. I'm just showing you how I did it. Okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of glitter still on that. I'm going to just beat that on the side of my trash can, see if I can't get some more of that loose glitter off. Ah, there we go. That's better. Okay. Then the next thing is this bit of pink and the white, and that does have a little special technique to it, and if I could only find those two pieces, I would be a happy camper. And what in the world did I do with them? I just, oh, here they are right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I don't have an oval that fits just inside here. So what I had to do is I held this down on a piece of paper and I just lightly traced all around this edge. Yes, I did. I did that. I know, the things we do to make a card, huh? And just all around the edge here, and there I am. I'm all the way around. So now I have a little oval sketched out. See that? Then I'm going to take, I don't even need my little scissors. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just a little bit to the outside of that. Like maybe about 1/16 of an inch outside of that oval I drew. And then I could, when I'm done doing this, I could erase all those pencil marks, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to flip it over. Yes, I am. I'm just going to flip that baby. Okay, there we go. So I've got my oval cut out, and I'm going to flip it over. And now I'll glue this. I'm just going to put glue all around the edge. Yeah, this would be better in a fine tip applicator. Just going to put right around the area on here where next to where I traced. And I'm going to stick that down on here. And look at that. Perfect. And again, you could pop this up if you like. I'm not. I'm just putting some glue on the back. And I'm going to put this down right smack in the center of my marbled and glittered piece here. And that looks pretty good to me. Yep. Now my elephant is going to get popped up. So I'm just going to take this little flower. I'm going to just turn the edges up a little bit. I mean, this is not serious flower shaping by any means. I'm just flipping the petals a little bit. I'm going to put a little dab of that glue on the back there. I'm going to get a hold of that with my fingers and put it right on my elephant. Oh, she looks so beautiful. She really does. I love this little elephant. So cute. Now, somewhere around here too, I have dimensionals. There we go. I found those fast. You would not believe the pile of stuff I have here on my craft table, because we've got the Christmas decorations out. I know. And some of the things from my living room had to come into my craft room just because I have no other place to put them. So now I have even more stuff on my craft table than usual. Luckily, I don't have any cats on my craft table today. Oh, I spoke too soon. Here comes one now. Well, anyway, we're going to put the elephant right in the center of that oval. We're almost done. Let me stick this on the inside, and then we can put our rhinestone on the center of our flower, and we're finished. There. Oh, yes, here she comes. Miss Thing. Hello. You're in my camera. Look at this face. Let me see if I can get her to look her face up. Look at that face. That's my stash. That's her name. And because she has a mustache. It looked like a mustache to me. Okay. She went on the floor. Let me get one of my little tiny bits out here. Get a little rhinestone. And, oh, I need my pokey tool for this. When I bought this pokey tool, I bought it for only for the purpose of putting little gems on. Because look here, you just pick that little gem up with your pokey tool. Oh, and it's stuck on my nail. There we go. You just pick it up with your pokey tool. See that? And set it in place where you want it with your pokey tool. And there, it's stuck. I have since used it actually as a piercing. It's a piercing tool, actually. I call it a pokey tool. But I have used it to pierce things. But that wasn't my main reason for getting it. So we're done. Haha. Look at that. Lots of shimmery glitter in the background, swirls in my marbling, and we've got our beautiful sentiment, happy birthday gorgeous. And if you've liked this video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, you can do that down there too. And if you want to see more of my videos, there's a subscribe button there too. Imagine that. If there are any Stampin' Up! Products that you'd like to purchase, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And as always, I'll have an accurate list of the materials that I use down below. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.